The Gospel of Thomas and the number of the beast. How on earth is he going to render that, you might think? Well, it's actually really easy. Let's have a bit of a look. The Gospel of Thomas. It's an unusual gospel. It contains 114 sayings, supposedly spoken by the living Jesus. These are the sayings, the secret words in which Jesus, the living Jesus, that is, spoke, and which Didymos Judas Thomas wrote down. We're going to examine just a few. Number 16. Saying 16. Jesus says, "Perhaps people think I have come to cast peace upon the world. They do not know that I have come to cast conflicts upon the earth, fire, sword and war." You need to brush that aside. Everyone focuses on these types of emphases and, no. But the next part, it's really quite compelling. It says there will be 5 in the house. 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Father against son and son against father, and they will stand alone. And that last part is also transcribed or translated as they stand as one. And indeed it is one number. So if we observe those numbers, 5 in the house, yes, there are 5 digits to that number. There are 2 separate digits within there, either 3s or 1s. And as you can see, there's 2 next to 3 and then 3 next to 2. Father against son, son against father is God, 31, man, 311, which God is the father and man is the son, I suppose. And it works, yes. And they stand alone. They stand as one single number. And then if we go to saying 22, I've rendered this so that you see how I've worked it out as we go along. So we're going to join man and woman together when you make the 2 into 1. And then when you make the inner like the outer and the outer like the inner, so you swap them around and you have 1,331. The upper like the lower, so the higher number like the lower number. And you make the male and female into a single one, which we've done. And so the male will not be male and the female will not be female. And when you make eyes in place of an eye. Now, if you imagine those 1s as eyes and the ears as 3s, and in this gospel they often talk of ears to hear and eyes to see. So 3s and 1s, imagine 3s, 2 1s, eyes and ears. So if we place 2 1s on the end of that, and we're left with 13 and 311. So the hand in place of a hand, left hand for right hand, right foot for left foot, etc. Swap them both round. An image for an image, so we swap an image, we invert it or whatever, and then you can enter the kingdom of heaven, i.e. then you will understand that this is 66 and 6, not just 6 and 66 as in the female version there, but it's also God and man, and you understand. You have, in effect, entered the kingdom of heaven. Well, I mean, that's supposition really, isn't it? But we're not finished. Those eyes, 3113 or 3 ear, eye, ear. If we open those eyes, we have 3003, which renders 3 times the numbers of time, the true numbers of time, 7, 11 and 13. And also that numbers of time, 7, 11 and 13, is the foundation year of Parliament, 1001. It's also this little handshake like this, 1001. Hey, now you know what they're referring to. It's esoteric. This little hand, I wonder how many people realise what that really means. It refers to time. The time described by the square of Saturn. So, what we're left with here and is saying 114. Simon and Peter said to them, "Make Mary leave us, for females do not deserve life." Wow. Seriously? And Jesus says, "Look, I'll guide her to make her male, so that she may become a living spirit resembling you males. For every female who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven." Well, in number, it makes sense. Because 31 and 311 are God and man, but 11,313, you've only got woman and 13. And there's a female version of this rendering and a male version of it, I suppose. But there's something else. The one other thing. This book has 114 sayings, and that number is unbelievably magical. I mean, look at this. The 114th is 6 times 19, and 619 is the 114th prime. There's the first pointer. But 6 by 96 is not a prime. It isn't. So if we look at it in prime factors, it's 2 by 3 by 19, and that will give us a rendering of 711. And if we say 3 plus 3 and 19, we have 911, and 3 times 19 times 3 would be, indeed, 31,103, which represents the centre of the Bible yet again. I mean, it's almost the last post we did works with this very well indeed. And then also as a duality, 114 is 57 plus 57, which can render us the 44th and 44th and the 88th, which gives us this 444 yet again. I mean, what are the chances of that? What are they? 114 represents 911, 711, the very core centre of the Bible, with absolute perfection. So what would you think? I'd love to know what you think. I really would. The number of the beast and the Gospel of Thomas. After all this time of the debate, etc., over these issues, and this is staring us in the face. How is that possible? It is because it is. And yeah, you wouldn't have thought you could render the number of the beast from Gospel of Thomas. I wouldn't have thought so. But I found it. The number of the beast and the Gospel of Thomas. One number.